Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsal D. Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center NAVSARI. Today we are going to discuss about technical writing and our today's topic is report writing. So here is the importance of report. So before we talk about the importance, let us see what is report. So in professional as well as academic life, you come across many occasions where you are required to write. So writing bears great importance in a professional's life as it is offers the reconsultations of the document in the hour of need. So while writing, one through has to be very well conscious as in the future it is going to carry an impression. It should be written in clear and lucid way. Different aspects of writing require certain specific formats and should include technical jargon as well. So we will discuss it later. So let us come towards the topic importance of report. So it is a basic management tool where you can manage all the things. The only tangible product of a professional, helpful in planning and evaluating according to your work, serves as a measure of the growth, progress or success of an organization, and it develops certain skills in the writer. So next let's see the objectives of report. So it present a record of accomplished work, we can say project report. Next, record research findings or technical specification, or we can say a report on the details of a new product. Next, document schedules, timetables and milestone, or we can say a status report on a long term plan. And next, document current status as well as like an inspection report. Next, record and clarify complex information for future reference, or we can say a report on policies and procedures. Next, present information to a large number of people, or we can say annual report. And present organized information on a particular topic, a report describing the working of various divisions of an organization. So if we talk about this, a report is like a bathing suit. It covers everything that has to be covered but nothing more. So report is a well structured document that includes information written in an organized layout meant for definite readers and targets a specific objective. Reports can be presented in both forms, oral and written. The written reports can be cherished as a document for future reference. In a professional's work life, the importance of writing and receiving reports cannot be underrated. Report writing is meant for the jobs that are accountable. In an organization, the subordinates are required to write reports to their superiors. They too can be solicited or unsolicited. In a report, specific information and data are presented, studied, and recommendations are made to a particular problem or issue. So here the information is offered in a specific format using headings and subheadings wherever required, presenting the information in a coherent way. Next is various formats. So a report may have any one of the following formats like manuscript format, memo format, letter format and pre-printed form. So in detail we will see it later. So for this we can say that while you are designated to write a report, you will be offered the issue to be studied and will be asked to put forward some suggestions based on the evidences you have collected and analysis made thereby. However, the structure of writing report is more or less specific and some technicalities are to be followed while writing them. So in all this format we will see it. So for example, if there is a fall in the sales of the goods, the administrators may ask the sales manager to find out the causes for the decline and to produce some recommendations. The recommendations are the guidelines for the further actions to be taken to increase the sales. Thus, reports are the outcome of the investigations made by those designated and may provide some useful to do action for the future, for the futuristic expected results. Okay. So let's start with the manuscript format first. So this is the most commonly used format for reports and is generally used for formal reports. The length of such reports can range from a few pages to several hundred. As the length increases, these reports include more elements such as abstract, summary, appendix, glossary, and so on. So it mainly include these components. So preparative parts will be there, main text will be there, supplementary parts will be there, and optional elements will be there. So in preparative parts we can include cover page, title page, certificate, acknowledgement, table of content, list of illustration, and abstracts. In main text we have to include introduction, discussion, conclusion, and recommendations. In supplementary parts we can include appendix, or we can say appendix, references or bibliography, and glossary. And in optional element we include frontispiece, letter of transmittal, copyright notice, preference, and summary index. So let us discuss some of the components. So first is title page. So this should consciously to clearly depict the purpose of the report. Other detail one may include or could be one's name, the date, and form for whom the report is written. It contains detailed information like full title, subtitle, name and address of authors, particulars of authority, contract or project number, etc., etc. Next, if we talk about abstracts, so the summary can be described as the brief content of the report. It consists of the objectives of the report, its findings, the recommendations. It should also cover the result following the recommendations. It should not cover the detailed discussion but just the outline of the main points. Summary or the abstract will be the first component of your report the reader is going to read. So for that purpose, try to give a clear idea of the content of your report. Next is introduction. So the introduction is the essence of the main body of the report. It includes the objectives and purpose for which the report is written. It would also estimate any problems or limitations along with the scope the report has to offer further. In the introduction, the research methodology used, the constraint of the research, and background history of the topic or issue to be discussed in the report is focused. So in reports of the fields of science and technology, separate headings for method and results are used before one starts writing under the head of the discussion or main body. Okay. Next is acknowledgement. So under this head, one can acknowledge the assistance, information, or advice some organizations, individuals have offered. This is a formal way of thanksgiving. Okay. Next is discussion. So the main body of the report is where you discuss the real happening. The facts and the evidences are collected and analyzed with a focus on specific issue. Discussion section tends to get lengthy, so it is advisable that you divide it into section headings. Here you have to provide stepwise detail of how the experiment was conducted or the event or research. This component of your report requires strong presentation skills. Use bullet points to present a series of points in an easy to follow list. As with the whole report, all sources used should be acknowledged and correctly referenced. Next is appendix. So under this heading you should include all the supporting information you have used that is not published. This might include tables, graphs, questionnaires, surveys or transcripts. Refer to the appendix in the body of your report. Next is bibliography. So bibliography is the record written in alphabetical order by the author about all published sources referred into his or her report. There are various styles of using references and bibliographies. One has to refer to the guidelines provided by one's department for adopting a specific referencing style. In the case where the direct reference is not taken from the text but one has consulted the same while writing the report could be listed under the heading as background reading. However, the same format used for refurnishing in bibliography should be used. Next is glossary. So it is advisable to supply the list of technical terms used with their clear descriptions in the report, preferably in alphabetical order. In this list, one can accommodate the explanation of the abbreviation or the term used throughout. Thus, the standard elements quoted above should be included in the report, especially in your academic and your project report. The order may vary on the basis of the area or field. It may be influenced by the guidelines or instructions provided by one's department. So these are the main points. Okay. So we have to think about this in our mind while we are preparing the report. Okay. Next is memo format. So a report sent to somebody within the organization will be in memo format. So the analysis, conclusions and recommendations are included in the main text part of the memorandum, the other parts being the same as the inter-office memorandum. Next, let's see its structure. So first of all, name of organization will be there, then name or designation of the receiver, next name or designation of the sender, next date, next subject, then body, and then the signature of the sender. So let's see. So here is the example of memo format. Okay, so you can stop your video and write it down. Okay, so in this should be written in the Word file. Okay, but for example I have included it in PPT. So from this you can understand. So this structure is followed in this example. Okay, so you can see the example from here. Okay, sorry. So you can write it down like this way. Okay, so all the things are included. Okay, so you can stop the video and write for your examination like that. Okay, next is letter format. So while sending short reports of a few pages to outsiders, one can opt for a letter format. Besides all the routine parts of a letter, these reports may include headings, illustrations and footnotes. Okay. So this form is used in case of brief and informal reports. Its main parts are heading, date, address, salutation, body, complementary clause and signature. So next, here is the example of letter format. Okay, so same like previous one, the format is changed. Okay, according to letter format this is written. Okay, so this also you can write down by stopping the video. Okay, so this is the end of this letter format. Okay, next is pre-printed format. So reports containing routine matter and which are periodical in nature may be written in a form prescribed from the organization. All one needs to do is to fill in the blanks in a pre-printed form. For instance, a report presenting the performance assessment of an employee or an interim report reflecting the process of a project may be presented in a form wherein the reporter needs to fill in certain details against the details asked for. So here is the example of pre-printed format. So you can see the company name, date, then name of the investigator will be there, his or her position will be there, then name of other investigator if of the team if any. Okay, then heading will be there, then experiment number will be there, then date of experiment, then statement of purpose, apparatus used, method or procedure followed, detailed calculation or observation, conclusion, and then signature. So it is pre-printed format. Okay, so you have to write it down what you get. Okay, so if we talk about all these four, so what is the essential of good report? So there are couple of reasons for considering report as the written form of communication, like to retain the evidence of the discussion made and recommendations given from the designated professionals. A well presented report should have the analysis and facts related to the problem and issue well presented. The problem is to be investigated step by step and presented to derive through understanding. An academic report should follow the specific format and should have all the sources and references from where the information and data has been derived acknowledged in a desired format. The language should be formal and informal. Information should be in brief. Okay, information should be in briefs. So an effective formal report will express your ability to reflect the objective of the report while following its specification, like collect, organize and analyze the required information. Next, like present data in a rational and coherent manner. Also writing the report in a present your report in a reliable manner according to the expectation of the reader, and to provide thoughtful and practical recommendations based on analysis and finding. So this is all for the today's session. So thank you all of you. We will meet in next video. So till then, do see this and learn this. Okay, so thank you all of you.